Yo, yo, yo. I'd like to welcome y'all back out to Music and Magic, man. I'm your host, Chaos. First and foremost, man, from the bottom of my heart, man, I want to appreciate everybody who's came and stopped through the channel, man, who's spread love and gave feedback, man, and I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, man. Today, just want to come and talk about one of my favorite subjects on the topic of magic. Just want to get into pretty much a simpler form of the definition of magic. A lot of people always asking me where magic is. I always call myself a magician. People always sending me emails and messages and stuff and asking me, well, what is it? First and foremost, it's not has nothing to do anything with magic tricks or illusions or anything like that. That's something totally separate from what I deal with. What I deal with is more of a spiritual thing. And so what I did was I just combined some of my favorite quotes from my favorite authors from different books that I read. So what I'm gonna do is just go through some of them because some very, very, very good explanations about the topic of magic and just the totality of what it can do for you. It can't really be summed up in one definition. So there's a lot of different views on it. So the best you could do is take the summary of some of the best views that you can come up with and pretty much create your own, which is pretty much what I did. So I'm just gonna go over some of the ones that I felt like had an impact on me and my consciousness, and just thought I would share it with you guys. So starting off with one of the most popular authors that most people know about dealing with metaphysics is H.P. Blavatsky. She wrote the book Isis Unveiled, and on the topic of magic she writes, "For a belief to become universal, it must have been founded on an immense accumulation of facts, tending to strengthen it from one generation to the next. At the head of such belief is magic, or occult psychology." Pretty much what she's saying is, for a belief to become universal, it must have been founded on an immense accumulation of facts. So, for people to even believe in a topic such as magic, first of all, it had to be a lot of people who believed in it. An immense accumulation of facts, which tend to strengthen it from one generation to the next. So, if magic wasn't real, just the idea or the topic of it would have had died generations ago. It wouldn't be still something that's lingering around that people would have to wonder, or is this real or not, or are certain things possible, or it's just, you have to know that your mind makes things possible. So if you think something impossible, it's possible. If you don't think it's possible, then it's not possible. And that's just the basics of all magic. But I'm just going to go through some more of the quotes. So that was a really good one that I thought from H.P. Blavatsky. Just go on to another one of my favorite authors is Ray Sherwin. One of his books is called The Essential Skills of Magic. He writes, "Magic is the art of causing change in consciousness in accordance with the will." Now, I think it's really key that he says that magic is an art, because what is art? Art is something that somebody uses to express themselves. So it all starts in the mind though. So whatever the artist comes up with, whether it be a painter, whether it be a musician, whatever the outlet may be, it all starts in their mind. So they're using something in their mind, or something from their mind, and they're interpreting it using their art form, and they're sharing it with the world. So there's an exchange going on between the mental and the physical world. And that's very, very key, because that's very key to magic as well. That's the same thing. There's an exchange between the mental world and the physical world that's going on between your mind and between the world. And so he says magic is the art of causing changes in consciousness in accordance with the will. So what you do, you're changing levels of consciousness. What is your consciousness? Your consciousness is the frequency that you're vibrating on, your accessibility to thoughts. People with higher level of consciousness have access to higher level of thoughts. So all of this goes into place. So if you want to raise your level of awareness or your level of thoughts, what you have to do, you have to use a system to do that. So magic is a system that is used to change your consciousness. And that's Ray Sherwin. Very, 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 very good book, man. If you really serious about magic and you really want to learn more, man, that's a very good book. It's called The Essential Skills of Magic. I spelled his last name Sherwin, Ray. Very simple. And I'm just gonna move right along. Another very good book called The Basics of Magic by Amber Kay. Very, very, very good quote. She writes, "Magic is the study and application of psychic forces. It uses mental training, concentration, and a set of symbols to program the mind. The purpose of magic is to alter the self and environment in accordance with the will." Very, 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 very good breakdown of just what magic is. And a lot of times people get caught up in the glitz and the glamour. It's like, oh, I can astral travel, or I can do this, I can do that. But a lot of this stuff requires a lot of discipline. It requires a lot of patience, and you don't really hear the stories about what it requires to do certain things if you're trying to do it in a sincere way, if you're trying to do it in a pure way. So she says it uses mental training, concentration, and a set of symbols. A set of symbols is very, very important because your mind, your subconscious mind, communicates with you through symbols. And these symbols pop up in your day-to-day reality, in your dreams, what have you. So it's always trying to send you messages, and that's how it does it. I'm going to do a whole nother show on symbols. I could spend all day talking about that. But anyway, the purpose of magic is to alter the self and the environment in accordance with the will. So once you gain control over your mind, or you gain higher level of consciousness, you're able to control certain things, and these are the things that come with magic. Amber Kay, The Basics of Magic. And just go on to the next author, Phil Hine, which has a lot of books out about magic, man. A very, very, very good author. He's also one of the most popular authors about on the occult and magic. He writes, "Magic is a set of techniques for rousing a neurological storm in the brain, which brings about microscopic fluctuations in the universe, which leads eventually to macroscopic changes in accordance with the magician's intent." And this is from the book Oven Ready Chaos, Phil Hine, Philhine. Very, very, very good explanation. Just try to break it down a little bit just to let you know exactly what he's trying to say. First of all, he's saying it's a set of techniques, which kind of we already talked about in broad, but I'm going to do a couple more videos and go exactly into detail about what the techniques are and things that you can do exactly. But just to give it a broad view, he's saying it's causing a neurological storm in the brain. Exactly the same thing, it's just you affecting your mind. The physical mental exchange is pretty much what he's talking about. That's just a more scientific way of saying it, which lead eventually to changes in accordance with the magician's intent. So you're using your mind to affect your physical reality. So my thoughts is going to start affecting my world. Once I start continuing my thoughts in a set pattern on a set day, I can start changing my world with these thoughts. Pretty much what he's saying. A very, very, very good book. Oven Ready Chaos. He also got some very, very other good books out there as well. And another one of his quotes that I thought is very, very key, he says, through magic, we may come to explore the possibilities of freedom. Through magic, we may come to explore the possibilities of freedom. And that's very, very, very key, because most people don't really know what freedom is. Most people never really had a taste of freedom, because you don't know what it feels like to have control over your own mind, to be able to think your own thoughts and not be constantly bombarded about other people's thoughts. And the only way you can do that is to free yourself from other people's thoughts. So it takes repetition and repetition and meditation after meditation to block out the external world, so you can start filling your mind up and your subconscious mind up with your world and new light and new information. And that's real freedom, and that's what magic gives you the ability to do. It's giving you the chance to focus on yourself. It's giving you the chance to raise your awareness, raise your consciousness by getting away from bullshit and paying attention to real shit at the end of the day. That's what it is. The more you pay attention to things that are real and things that are matter and things that are sincere, the more you grow and you raise your awareness and you raise your consciousness. And this is the basics of all magic. This is the basis of all high magic. This is what it is. It's changing your mental. Everything is mental. Everything is your mind. You have to know that. And if you're dealing with magic, this is what you're dealing with. This is the basics. So freedom is a result of that. True freedom. Not being, caught in a box or caught in a web or caught up in somebody else's reality. You're the architect of your world. You're 100% in control of your thoughts, of your actions, instantly. And this is what you can achieve through magic. Phil Heim, man, Oven Ready Chaos, man, very, very, very good book, man. If you're trying to take it serious, we just gonna keep it rolling, man. I got books, man. I take my study very, very serious. We just gonna roll on to Peter J. Carroll, man, another very popular writer on the occult. This is from his book Libra No. He writes, "The transmutation of the mind to the magical consciousness has often been called the great work. The transmutation of the mind to the magical consciousness has often been called the great work. It has a far-reaching purpose, leading eventually to the discovery of the true will. Even a slight ability to change oneself is more valuable than any power over the external universe. Metamorphosis is an exercise in willed reconstructing of the mind." Pretty much, it's people just finding new ways to explain the exact same thing. And these are from different people, from different practices, from different parts of the world, who's trying to come and share with the world and let them know that certain things are possible. And he's writing it in a way that it's been revealed to him. It's going to get revealed to everybody differently. Everybody's perception is going to be differently. So the way I see magic's not going to be the way you see magic, but it's going to be real to you and it's going to be real to me. So what he's saying is the transmutation of the mind to magical consciousness has often been called the great work. This is the most important thing any soul can do. You can transform your mind. This is the point of evolution. It doesn't stop with the body, it moves on to the mind. The mind comes after the body for a reason. You get your body right, but then you have to get your mind right. That's just the basis of it. It has a far-leading purpose, leading eventually to the discovery of the true will. Everybody's saying the exact same thing, discovery of the true will. You find your real purpose. Your purpose in life once you find out who you are. And that's going to lead you to your true will, and which is going to lead you to your power, which is the basis of all magic. transformation. Metamorphosis is an exercise in will reconstructing of the mind. Back to the mind once again. The mind is all, the universe is mental, everything is mental. Metamorphosis is an exercise in will reconstructing of the mind. This is basics. He's telling you right here, Lee Benoit, Peter J. Carroll. We're going to keep it moving. Another one. Man, this book is so awesome. Ted Andrews, Sacred Sounds. Man, anybody who want to take music serious, you want to take magic serious, this is a must-have book. This is a must-read, man. Man, I read this book 3 times and I still haven't got the total power from it. He writes, all words and sounds are essentially magical, and yet the paradox is that they must also be rendered magical. The words and sounds are seeds, holding the essence of magic and light. Unless those seeds are neutered and help to take root, the magic either lies dormant or it grows within our life in peculiar ways. Ted Andrews, Sacred Sounds. Man, just a great breakdown. Pretty much what he's saying is all words and sounds are essentially magical. So if you have the ability to speak, you have the ability to do magic, because it's sound. Everything is sound, everything is waves, everything is frequency. So everybody has this capability within them. All words and sounds are essentially magical. But the paradox is that they must also be rendered magical. What does that mean? You have to believe that they're magical. That's the trick. Your mind is powerful. Everything is mental. So if your mind can make things seem a certain way, then they'll be that way, because your mind has the capability to do that. This is what science is proving right now. There's many videos that you can watch that people are discovering how the mind interacts with reality and how mind interacts with matter. But this is not new information. This is information that ancients have known for a long time, and it's just coming back to surface. And people are just trying to spread the information. So all words and sounds are essentially magical, and yet the paradox is also they must be rendered magical. The words and sounds are seeds holding the essence of magic and light. Every single word can be taken one way or another. Words are very, very, very powerful. Unless the seeds are neutered and help to take root, the magic either lies dormant or it grows within our life in peculiar ways. So either use the magic or don't use it. It's still in you. You are a magical being. There's nothing that you can do to stop yourself from being awesome. It's just whether you want to accept and recognize your awesomeness at the end of the day. But you have to go inside and recognize it for yourself. You have to go inside and see it for yourself and appreciate it for yourself. And magic is a system for discovering that within yourself. That's the basis of high magic. A lot of people have just crazy views of what magic is, and it's just been, the whole concept has just been tormented over years because of a few bad apples. But the basis of magic has always been self-transformation. And this is what the ancients have always taught. And this is the only way. So those were just some of the authors that I thought would be relevant, just to come and just give a very, very broad view of just such an in-depth concept. But what I did is I tried to sum it up myself, because I believe that at the basis of all magic is self-transformation. It's all about what you get out of yourself. So you have to take all the experience and all the knowledge and everything that you learn, and you have to come up with a story for yourself, and you have to make the story yours. So what I did was I came up with my own definition of what magic was, just based off the things that I've done, just the rituals that I've done, just all of the magical experiences that I came. And pretty much what I came with is magic is the process of finding out what magic is. It really is. Magic is the process. The whole process is magical. The whole process of transformation is magic. And it starts with one bug. It starts with 1 ounce of curiosity. You want to be curious. You like, okay, I heard about this, I heard about that. I want to find out what this mean, or I want to find out if this is true. So what you do, you start lighting a candle, you start doing this, you start doing that. And then you find out it works. And then you start doing other things. So the whole process of finding out what it is and being curious and doing the study and doing the whole transformation, I believe that the whole process, that's what magic is. So that's what I came up with myself. But at the end of the day, man, just to sum it all up, Ray Sherman said it best, man. One act of magic, one act that shows magic works is worth 1,000 arguments. At the end of the day, people just need proof, but you can only prove it to yourself, so you have to do it for yourself. Unless you know, or you just gonna pay somebody to come do it for you, but most people ain't finna do all of that. So if you serious about it, you're gonna have to meditate yourself. You're gonna have to do certain things yourself, and then you'll get the results yourself. But it's out here for you, man. So I just wanted to come shed some light. Chaos.